What is up, you guys? Welcome to another Thursday with Spencer here on FTM Transtastic. I look like ass. I know it's been a very long, very tiring holiday season for me, and I'm kind of sick, but that's besides the point. This week we are talking about a very controversial topic, which I don't really even know why it's so controversial, but it's controversial, and so I figured I'd give my 2 cents, and it's, of course, the topic of, is it transphobic if you say you don't want to date trans people? Alright, so look at everybody else's videos. Everyone else talks about how by saying you don't date trans people, you're basically lumping all of us together and saying, whatever preconceived notions you have on trans people, you're basically applying it to that one individual, yada, yada, yada. And that is true, and that is fucked up. And by sheer definition, it is transphobic to say that you don't want to date a trans person. I don't want to talk about that because that's just, just Google that. Like, it's transphobic. I guess what I want to talk about is it horrible? Like, is this something that you should stress about? Is this something that you should worry about or concern yourself with? If somebody says, yo, I don't want to date you, you're trans. Like, is this going to should this, ruin your life? And the answer, in my opinion, is no. Let me disclaimer, I have never been turned down for being trans. And, I don't know if that's rare or if that's normal or whatever, but I personally have never been turned down for being trans. And I don't know what that would feel like if somebody said, hey, we vibe, we're great, but I don't want to date you because you're trans. But I have been turned down in my life for many other reasons. And I'm just going to correlate this to me being black. I have been turned down 4 times in my life for being black. And, at first I was like, what the fuck, you're horrible. And I just wanted to, drag them through the mud and just, be all angry and upset about it. And then, after the second and third time, I was just kind of on to the next. And that's just kind of how it is. People get turned down for many different things for, ever. And it doesn't really matter if it's valid or if it's PC or if it's right, you still get turned down. And you still have this, feeling of loss and hurt and pain and whatever the case is for being turned down, especially if you were vibing with the individual and then all of a sudden you say something and they are like, yeah, I'm not into that, goodbye. And I think those, feelings are valid. Be upset about it. But, there's, 7 billion people in this world or something? Odds are you're going to find somebody that loves you for you. And if we're going to sit here and discuss all the things that the cisgender world does to trans people that are transphobic, on the grand scheme of shit that we as trans people experience, is this the biggest one? Is this the one that you're going to want to, harp on? At least not me. I mean, I'm more worried about whether or not I'm going to get beat up in the bathroom for someone seeing my prosthetic and realizing it's a prosthetic than some chick over there turning me down after I tell them I'm trans. I'm not worried about that. And I don't know, obviously it has a lot to do with just my personality as a human, but I just don't see, I guess, why we're talking about this. In my opinion, if the most transphobic thing that has ever happened to me is being turned down by somebody for being trans, I'm doing good. If that is the most transphobic thing that's ever happened to me, I'm living a good life. I have it easy. Because if we look at all the other transphobic shit that we have to deal with, this is just nothing. It's not even worth a mention. Or at least that's how I feel. Dating itself is tricky. People are finicky and odd. And, you have to do a dance to figure out if you mesh. There's a lot of reasons that people have that just aren't about being trans to not date somebody that are fucked up. Yet, it's just kind of I just kind of come to the realization that people are shitty. That's just how it is, right? People fail at something, somewhere. And I'm just not going to waste my time pointing out someone's ignorance and trying to train them. I'm not gonna fight for you to like me. I'm not gonna beg for you to like me. So if I'm yeah, my name is Spencer, I'm a pretty cool individual, by the way, I'm trans. And you're like, yeah, you're cool up until you said you're trans. I'm like, cool. Well, we obviously aren't going to vibe any more than what we are now. And, best of luck to you in your life. And that's just how it is. Because I got other things to worry about. There's more to this world than that. So, I mean, yes, it's transphobic. If you want my answer, yes, it's transphobic. However, it's not something that I really like consider that big of a deal. It's just interesting to me whenever I see people like get all bent out of shape, when I'm just like, I don't understand why you think human beings are any different. Like we fail each other often. So, for a person who's never been a part of the community, so I'm speaking specifically of like cisgender straight individuals, for you to be so shocked or, you know, confused that they're just like, yeah, this is hard for me. I literally look at it like whenever I like am dating somebody that's not of my race. Like I dated many white people, and so it's the same thing. I'm introducing them to a community and a community that they have never been a part of. They're not used to it, and it's just something that they just like learn and go on with, and they have the idea that, or they have the option to figure out whether or not it's something that they want to experience and be a part of, because every human being, every relationship you are in is an experience, and it comes with mental health and family issues and education and class issues, and you decide if you want to go through that experience or not. And being trans is just one of those experiences. And if you meet somebody who's too weak or isn't, emotionally mature enough or isn't evolved enough as a human being to want to go through that experience, I mean, they have every right to be in the dark, and it hurts, but it's just kind of like go on to the next. There's too many fish in the sea, and there's just not enough. Like, I just don't have the time to worry about it. So that's my opinion on it. I feel like it's drastically different from the last two videos that I've seen on this topic thus far, but hit me up in the comments below if you have any questions, issues, comments, concerns. Leave them down. Yeah, I hope you guys had a great holiday season and are gearing up for an even better end of the new year. It is Thursday. It is Spencer. Until next time.